Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, which major health insurance company is mailing out rebates?
Then how the city is helping to fight the fires in Northern California.
And a Grammy Award-winning singer takes the stage at a local event.
Plus, Kashiwa delegates arrive at LAX. We'll tell you what's in store during their 3-week visit.
These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories. Patients of one major health insurance company may be receiving an unexpected check in the mail. $82.7 million in rebates is what Blue Shield of California owes to consumers and small employers under the federal health law. $61.7 million of that money will be shared among 454,000 individuals who had Blue Shield coverage in 2014. That comes out to an average amount of about $136 per person. The remaining $21.2 million will be distributed among 19,000 small business employees. This rebate happens when insurers fail to spend a minimum of 80% of premiums on medical care for individual and small business customers. Blue Shield fell slightly short of that, spending 76.8% of premiums collected. All rebate checks will be mailed to eligible customers by September 30th.
Members of the Torrance Fire Department headed north to assist in putting out fires. Recent dry lightning strikes are sparking several hundred small wildfires in Northern California, and the hot weather isn't helping. In California, more than 10,000 firefighters are battling 22 wildfires, including the Rocky Fire. The South Bay sent a total of 5 fire engines to Alder Point, California to help fight the Humboldt lightning fires. A total of 2 fire engines were sent from Torrance, 1 from Redondo Beach, 1 from El Segundo, and 1 from Manhattan Beach. Agencies from LA County have been deployed to central and northern parts of the state to help with these fires. So far, there have been over 7,070 lightning-sparked fires, totaling about 31 acres and only 20% contained. A recent case of a parent leaving their child in a car with the engine running on a hot day sparked outrage by a citizen who saw this happening outside a Torrance Sprint store. As a reminder to parents and anyone with minors, by law, children under the age of 6 are not allowed to be left alone unattended in a vehicle, especially if the conditions are dangerous for the child's safety or the engine is left running. Now, experts say the best alternative is to take your child with you, no matter how short the trip. For children that are of age that can be left alone temporarily, leave an important item like your cell phone with them so you don't forget. Each state has its own set of rules regarding leaving children in the car. For more information, visit kidsincars.org.
Thanks to the quick actions by members of the Torrance Fire Department, one local teen is alive today.
And I told my friend, you need to go get someone. I really can't breathe. I feel like I'm going to almost pass out.
We checked her vital signs. Her pulse ox was about 70, which for a normal person's 97, 98. For a 14-year-old girl, 70 is dangerous. It's very deadly.
Brittany Allred, who suffered an extreme asthma attack, was transported to Providence Little Company of Mary Medical Center in Torrance, then transferred to Miller Children's Hospital in Long Beach. Allred stopped by the Torrance Fire Department station to say thank you in person to members of the department who helped save her life.
A local company famous for its carpet is heading into its 70th year in business. The company first opened under the name of American Rug in Brockton, Massachusetts, before moving to Southern California 2 years later. Fred's Carpets Plus currently operates 2 locations in Torrance. The store on 2153 Torrance Boulevard near the corner of Arlington Avenue has been open since 1985. And the second location, which opened on PCH, moved to its new location on Hawthorne Boulevard. Members of the City Council and Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce were on site to help cut the ribbon.
Businesses like Fred's Carpet bring jobs to the city of Torrance. They bring a good economic driver, a good engine. And really, in just talking to Fred's, the customer service, it's 3 generations owned, 70 years, fantastic customer service. So they bring a really good product to the city of Torrance.
They have put carpets and tiles in more homes in Torrance than I think anybody else could have possibly done. And it's really an honor to be here with them to get them started on this new road, this new venture. And like I said, it's truly an honor. I know the Fury household has been carpeted by Fred's every room in my house.
The new location of Fred's Carpets Plus is now open at 24227 Hawthorne Boulevard on the corner of West 242nd Street. Well, still ahead, get to know one young Torrance champion who's preparing for a global competition.
At what age is the color that your skin was meant to be no longer beautiful? Every year, millions of young women try to change the skin they were born with and say they die for darker skin. Sadly, some actually do. Melanoma is the second most common cancer in teens and young adults 15 to 29. And one person dies from melanoma every hour. It's time. Change your thinking, not your skin. Stop tanning. Learn more at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Surf's Up, the R10 paddleboard race, is part of the festivities again at this year's International Surf Festival.
Several years ago, 1997 was the first race. We had just opened the restaurant the year before, and Riviera Mexican Grill, and we decided, you know, we're ocean people, we're all surfers, we're all involved with the beaches, especially Torrance Beach is very close and near and dear to us. So we decided to, along with Joe Bark, put together a paddleboard race.
56 paddlers competed in this 7-mile race from Torrance Beach around the Palos Verdes R10 navigational buoy and back. The competition is open to everyone, but you want to be physically fit because the race takes over an hour to complete. Participants range from 8 years old to 80 years old. This is the International Surf Festival's 54th year, and they bring together the 4 South Bay beach cities for some competition and a lot of fun. For more information on the International Surf Festival, visit surffestival.org.
Families and friends enjoyed a free concert in the park recently.
Get out here and dance if you feel like dancing, and tell all your friends about the great time that you had in Torrance, thanks to Mystic Wave, SGI, and the City of Torrance. Give yourselves a round.
They're a band that does everything from jazz to contemporary and Latin. Mystic Wave volunteered their time for a special concert in the park hosted by the city. The band kicked off the night at Columbia Park with a set that focused on themes of culture and peace, and it wasn't long before the funky and infectious vibe had both children and adults grooving along. Mystic Wave is a community outreach band associated with the Buddhist Association for Peace, Culture, and Education. They have previously played at the city's Cherry Blossom Cultural Festival for the past 2 years.
The Southern California Live Steamers, also known as SCLS, recently signed a 25-year lease with the City of Torrance. Jesse Piera has more on what this means for preserving history in the city.
Have a good ride. All aboard!
Math teacher by day and train conductor by night. Daisy Lee puts on her hat and works alongside her husband Robert Lee to welcome guests to their first ever Moonlight Night Run event.
The primary purpose is to fundraise to start upgrading the tracks, specifically the one that goes to Crenshaw.
We're celebrating a fundraising event, bringing all of Torrance out here to enjoy our first ever Moonlight fundraising run to help us raise money to fix the tracks and keep the trains running.
After being frequent guests, Lee, her husband, and their son have volunteered as a family at SCLS for several years.
I guess it's in our blood, you know, Torrance is a vibrant city with a lot of volunteers, and we all seem to like to volunteer.
SCLS is run completely by a tight-knit group of volunteers who operate more like a big family. Daniel Ganneth is the group's youngest certified engineer and has been volunteering with his family for as long as he can remember.
I've been coming here since I was 4, 5. Started training immediately. Always wanted to become an engineer. Just the thought of it was so fun.
SCLS has a lot to celebrate, but they have their eye on a bigger prize, gaining more local support And luckily for them, it's pouring in, which may mean new ties and repairs for the Crenshaw line.
This is a local. Everybody do volunteer works here, and they're really passionate. They love kids, and they love to support the city of Torrance, so we are willing to support.
We are crazy train ride aficionados. Our grandsons love this place. Love this place. We come every time we're here.
I'm so excited, and I'm going on a train ride.
Lee is proud to be a part of an organization that keeps history alive.
They're the future of preserving train history. You know, it may be small, but it is part of the regular big train history.
This is the first time SCLS has opened for the public in the evening, and they hope for many more moonlight night runs. For Torrance City Cable, I'm Jessie Pierre.
Thanks, Jesse. If you would like to support or visit SCLS, check out SouthernCaliforniaLiveSteamers.org.
Two groups gathered together to share in the art of taiko drumming. Tao Ta takes us there.
Taiko drumming. It is one of Japan's most popular cultural icons and is part of the Henderson Library Summer Reading Program. This year's theme, called Read to the Rhythms, featured the sounds of the taiko drums. No melody, no lyrics, yet still mesmerizing. A performance piece by two groups called the Taiko Effect and Proda.
It's kind of cool to merge what we grew up with, such as hip-hop, pop, R&B, groups such as Earth, Wind, and Fire, all that stuff, and we try to put that into our songs, and that way we can kind of make sure that we're in touch with our culture, but also keeping it modern day.
These moving performances are a combination of musical and physical talents. It's tough, says performer Eric Briggs, but he's still learning.
It was very interesting for me coming into just a pure collegiate group, kind of seeing their style, and then once I left that and started having my eyes open to the rest of the taiko community, how the music and movement and just the compositions changed.
It's enough to make one fan feel the beat.
I'm glad that the younger generations are still carrying on with the culture of whatever, because I was not exposed to too much of that culture, and I really think it's wonderful what they're doing.
It's hard not to immerse yourself in the pounding of the drums, especially when it's as much of a physical performance as a listening experience. Kiai, which translates to energy shout in Japanese, is a way to encourage performers and to get them to share the energy, especially during these solo performances. Ready, Yumi? Okay. There's something about this art form of taiko drumming that continues to change with the times while keeping with the traditional Japanese customs. For Torrance City Cable, I'm Tao Ta.
Thanks, Tao. The event was sponsored by the Friends of the Torrance Library. To find out how you can start taiko drumming right here in Torrance, visit asano.us.
Torrance celebrates a special event that demonstrates what happens when the community comes together. Lisa Lee tells us more.
Guests put on their cocktail attire and dancing shoes for a special evening at American Honda's 29th Annual Gourmet Food and Wine Festival. It's an event that raises money for the Torrance Memorial Medical Center, and it's turned into quite a community tradition.
This is an opportunity. We put on our nice clothes, go out and say hello, have some wine, have some good food, and have a good time, great entertainment.
Honda really feels that when you're in a community, you really need to be part of the community and bring people together, create friendships and partnerships with local residents, with other businesses, with our restaurant partners. So this is really a great way to celebrate all the great things in Torrance by bringing everyone together.
More than 25 South Bay vendors came out to show their support.
We have been here for 25 years. The chef is a very big influence in our community. Tonight we are serving basa with the lemon caper sauce. It's a Thai snapper from Thailand.
We're part of the community. We came to Torrance when we set up a couple of years ago. Torrance was the only local authority that said they were beer friendly.
Guests also had the chance to bid on some popular auction items, which were provided by generous donors. But all eyes were on one particular performer who had everyone excited.
Peebo Bryson.
Peebo Bryson.
To Peebo.
Peebo Bryson.
The multi-Grammy Award winner, famous for lending his voice to multiple Disney animated feature soundtracks, had the crowd up and dancing on their feet. Bryson ended the night on a high note, and guests had nothing but positive words for the city of Torrance, a place they feel lucky to call home.
For me, I was raised in this community. I've worked at Torrance Memorial for 32 years. And so for me, this is a real community event.
Torrance is such a great community. They've opened up their arms to us many years ago. It's been a fantastic place for Honda to be. And so we love being able to open our doors and bring everybody here for such a great cause.
The money raised from the event will go towards building a brand new wing, including a new pediatrics and intensive care unit.
Yo-yoing has grown into a huge sport with competitions all over the world. Jesse Pierre introduces us to a two-time national double-handed yo-yo champion that's right here in Torrance.
So there's 5 styles of yo-yoing. There's 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, and 5A.
Alex Hattori is only a few days from the biggest competition of his life.
In a few weeks, there's the World Yo-Yo Contest in Tokyo. So I'm trying to raise enough money to go there and represent the United States.
Hattori is amazed of how far yo-yoing has taken him, especially when he thinks back of how it all started.
In middle school, there was a group of kids that were playing with yo-yos, and I thought it was pretty interesting, so I went out and got my own, and then I really got hooked.
Hattori recently started his GoFundMe page so that he can pay for his trip. But yo-yoing has become more than just a hobby. Hattori was recently featured in South Bay magazine and even made the cover.
It was pretty exciting just to be able to walk into Barnes & Nobles and see my face on a magazine. It was an interesting experience.
Hattori also loves robotics and programming. He has recently been accepted to 7 out of the 8 Ivy League schools and will be attending MIT in the fall.
I'm looking forward to being able to work with other people that share the same passion that I have for technology.
Hattori's mother, Linda, has been by his side for the whole ride, supporting the sport he takes very seriously.
I also want him to do fun and silly things and laugh and enjoy these years.
Hattori would love to do it all, but for now, with the help of his mother, they will fundraise to cover the cost of competing around the world.
I'd love to be able to travel the world and perform my yo-yoing and also pursue technology.
Alex showed me a couple of tricks, but I think I'm going to stick to reporting. After winning the U.S. National Yo-Yo Championship, Alex is now set to compete in the World Championship all the way in Tokyo. For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Jesse Pierre.
Thanks, Jesse. If you're interested in supporting Alex's journey, visit gofundme.com/yoyoalex.
Nurses rejoice. Providence Little Company of Mary Medical Center of Torrance and their nurses have reached a contract agreement. Jesse Pierre has more.
After a long and grueling process, nurses like Ludi Chang are ecstatic about the outcome of recent events.
We just have our first union contract ratified on the 24th of July, and it has been a victory for us because now we have rights. We can protect ourselves and the patient's rights too.
Chang has been a nurse for 33 years and couldn't imagine doing anything else.
I always wanted to be a nurse. Since I was young, I always wanted to take care of people, my brothers, sisters. Even when we were playing, I will always be the nurse.
The California Nurses Association worked closely with the hospital to resolve many issues.
We are seeing a lot of changes already. They have implemented in most of the departments, we now have our own lunch break relievers. So we can now have an uninterrupted half-an-hour break.
Chang, who has worked at Providence for the last 13 years, finally feels like her voice was heard. And with the backing of the California Nurses Association, she's now looking forward to working at her job with the new standards set in place.
We were able to negotiate a pay increase, which is comparable or if not the same as the other hospitals around the area. That way we can recruit and retain experienced nurses.
Providence released a statement stating they know they have wonderful nurses and are confident they will continue to serve the community with the tradition of excellence. They thank everyone who was involved in the process and want to continue to focus on providing quality care for patients. For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Jessie Pierre.
Thanks, Jesse. The California Nurses Association is the largest union and professional association of registered nurses in U.S. history. For more information, visit nationalnursesunited.org. One neighborhood in Torrance held a welcoming celebration to get their message across about violence and crime prevention. Tao Ta has the story.
Residents gathered at Vanderhill Road Street for the National Night Out Block Party Tuesday evening. The annual event happens every first Tuesday in August, a day that encourages people to build relationships with neighbors and local police officers to help take a stand against violence and crime.
We want them to know that we are here for them and we appreciate their support. And it's very important for the community to be interacting with the police department, and that way we know what their concerns are and we can better address any issues that they have.
Sergeant Cronky is talking about the See Something, Say Something campaign. See Something, Say Something. It's a campaign that started about a year and a half ago to inform the community that if you spot a crime, to report it to the Torrance Police Department's non-emergency number. That way they can let the residents know of the next steps to take to stay safe in their community. Torrance resident Pete Porter has been coming to National Night Out since the 70s. Building a good relationship with law enforcement, he says, provides a great deal of comfort for him.
We go away from vacation quite often, and so it's nice to have the police force around here are very good, so we just call in. They come patrol the area.
The idea is to get people involved in the safety of their own communities to prevent crime before it happens.
Please watch your neighbor's house, please.
Neighboring city Redondo Beach, resident Sheila Garcia is a big advocate of working with the community to prevent crime.
I think the more neighbors that you know, the more people you can run to in the case of a crisis or emergency, and that's what I'm teaching the kids too that I'm watching, is that, look, if something happens to me as an adult, you could run next door or you could run across the street. So events like this help people come together and actually meet each other and not be so offstandish.
In the past year, just by reporting suspicious activity, overall crime has gone down in Torrance, and Neighborhood Watch Captain Jenna Christensen wants to keep it that way by encouraging the community to be more curious and neighbor-friendly.
Open up, I think. Say hi to people and be aware of what goes on where you live.
The evening concluded with food and pictures, where neighbors at this Vanderhill Road Street got the chance to build better relationships with each other and police officers.
Thanks, Tao. Vanderhill Road was one of the neighborhood block parties in Torrance that celebrated National Night Out. If you'd like to learn more about starting a neighborhood watch on your block, call 310-618-6392. Still ahead, Torrance welcomes our Kashiwa delegates. We'll tell you how they celebrated their arrival and some upcoming events you won't want to miss.
So they say it's a man's world? Well, I don't see anybody's name on it. While they were out doing their thing, we slowly changed all that. We changed all that. Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Welcome back, everybody. If you're interested in serving on a commission or certain committees, the City of Torrance hosts a certification training program. The 2-hour training class is hosted by city staff at the Torrance Civic Center, and once you receive a certificate, it's valid for 2 years. The next class will take place on Tuesday, September 29th. The training is free, but accepted on a first-come, first-served basis. To register, call the city's clerk's office, city clerk's office at 310-618-2870. Well, the welcome reception for Kashiwa delegates featured a potluck-style dinner as well as a few surprises. Student delegates from Kashiwa got their very first taste of American culture with the welcome dance that had the audience clapping along. Members of the Torrance Sister City Association and the Torrance City Council were on hand to give a warm welcome to the 9-member group visiting from Torrance Sister City of Kashiwa, Japan. And the group received a special gift from the city, complete with an overnight bag with the TSCA logo and matching T-shirts. The students were excited to be in the city.
Feelings of thanks for my host family, TSCA, Kira, and my parents. I'd like to learn much about Torrance. Thank you.
And Torrance students who recently returned from their stay in Kashiwa had a special moment to reminisce on their experience.
The best thing was with my host families. I bonded so much with my host families. With my host brothers from both families, I consider them like brothers now.
These 3 weeks have been amazing, and I can't thank anyone enough. Like it just flew by, but we did so much, and I just want to thank everyone. And now it's our turn to make sure that the Kashiwa students will enjoy these upcoming weeks as much as we did.
We'll continue to bring you updates on our Kashiwa delegates next week. Well, that does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m.
And I'm Jin Chun. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.